about to spark up. Would you go get to drink,
What I got? Glenlivet 15,
bro? Speaking of Glenlivet 15,
big one.
oh yo, I told you about that thing I started doing with the with the whiskey and bourbon society out here in North Florida. So it's
Oh yeah,
super
yeah.
dope. Yeah. Yo. So you just come out, you bring a bottle, right? And like if you brought that bottle right there, right, that Glenlivet bottle, you're gonna have people bring all kinds of bottles, right? And it'll be like, I don't know, it'll be like 20, 30 bottles on the table. And then you'll have your sipping glass or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you have your sipping glass, and then you know what I mean. You just chop it up with people while you're taking. You know what I mean. You're sipping on the whiskey, and yo, one thing I'll tell you is that, bro, what a difference it makes to fucking sip on the drinks, bro.
Yeah.
Like all this time I've been fucking with only like doing shit like where you're throwing it back. You know what I mean? And never took the time to actually sit here and say, yo, you know what? Let me just try to sip on this and smoke my cigar. You know what I'm saying?
It's like eating a steak, right? You're at a barbecue and you just. But if you go to a steakhouse, a good one, it's different steaks. It's like the same with whiskey. And then when you find it out, and then you smoke a cigar with it, that's what lit up my world. Was like, yeah, we were drinking all the time, but it was like then you introduced me to cigars, and I was like, whoa, that's a whole different dimension.
Bro, and it's crazy, right? Because we always talk about the whole like, man, I was just talking to one of my boys today, bro, because he's like new into the cigar world. And you know when people are new, they naturally, like a lot of people that are new in the cigar world, they naturally want to fucking spit. Like that's just what they naturally want to do. So
Yeah,
I tried to explain to him. I said, homie, have a drink with you, because guess what? You have a drink with you. No longer are you gonna be worried about that shit, because every time you get that moment where you're like, damn, boom, you take a sip, right? And
hmm
now everything got balanced out.
yeah, man.
I'm saying so.
And then you start the more cigars you start, visiting is like you pair those two, and you can pair it with what whiskey you want. Then you'll find I'm always a dark, man. I'm always a dark cigar, dark, like
So
Lagavulin 16.
so I have a question, yo, and I'm just learning about this, son. So the proofs, bro, I never knew that shit. I never knew what the fuck it meant. Now, now I understand it a little more. So
Yeah.
yo, when you're like between 80 and 100 proof, it's a nice, smooth, mild whiskey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get above 100, like one between 100, 115, 120ish, 115, 100 to like 115, that's when you're gonna start getting all those spices. You know what I mean? Now they say when you get above 130 proof, that's considered hazmat. That's what they call it.
Mm.
So at that point, so here I back in the day thought when whiskey like was like that, where it was like, ah, I was like, this whiskey sucks. Like I
Yeah.
thought it
Yeah.
meant it was like something cheap. And
Yeah.
my boy's like, hey, this is like an $800 bottle, homie. I was like, fuck, you get that in a back alley? Somebody just slap a sticker on it and fucking sold it to you for that much? But
Sunshine.
I didn't realize that the proofs of the is what does that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we learn things every day, bro.
And it's good, man. I enjoy. You work all day. In the military, it ain't 9 to 5, man. It's PT to when you're done. And
Yeah.
sometimes, you come out and you enjoy a cigar, and it's peaceful.
I
Um,
think that's funny that you said that about the military. I think that's a misconception where when people join the military, especially if they're coming from an area that has like no military background whatsoever, like they're coming from the city, the hood, or wherever. So in their mind, they think the military is like a 9 to 5.
yeah.
So they think they could just and bro, I was guilty, bro, because I thought that when I came in, I was like, oh, so I guess I don't gotta be there for a couple of days. I can call out whenever I want.
Oh, yeah, we had no. I mean, you really didn't have. At least speaking for myself, is we didn't have nobody we can talk to about the military. You had your uncles, your tios, whoever with the old war stories, but they had served 2 seconds and then they're out, but they couldn't tell you what's going
Yeah.
on today.
And then my cousin that was in, we only saw him come and go. So, and I was too young to chop it up and ask questions. Like, you know what I mean? None of
The
that
right
stuff was.
questions.
And the shit is that when we come from those areas, those questions ain't even really crossing our minds. I
No.
think I think nowadays kids that are considering it, it's because it's a hotter topic today.
Yeah.
And plus with social media, they see more videos, they see more shit. They're like, yo, what's that? I want to know what I mean? We
Yeah.
didn't see a lot of these videos, so we showed up to the recruiting station, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
before the recruiting station, it was movies. Like
Yeah,
our information was coming like very fucking simple, coming from movies. You know what I mean?
like Full Metal Jacket.
Like bro, like Full Metal Jacket. You know what I mean? Yo, and speaking of movies, right? So we just got through the fucking Fourth of July weekend, right? Yo, happy Fourth of July, son! I see you got the fucking flag right there.
All day.
Yo, so what was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of movies. Yo, what would be some movies that you would say are like ill patriotic movies?
Patriotic. Saving Private Ryan, number one movie as best for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, the whole reason why I joined the Airborne was the uh the series of Band of Brothers.
Dang. Yo,
Yep.
wait, that came out back then?
Oh yeah.
Early?
Oh yeah. I was
Bro.
watching on DVD.
Yo, I didn't get put on to for Band of Brothers till like I don't know, I don't even know what years I started watching Band of Brothers, but it was later, bro. I didn't start watching that early.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it till like
Yeah.
late. I don't know. It was way after I was already in. You know what I mean? I already been in maybe 5 years plus before I fucking knew about that shit. You know what I mean? Yo, that's crazy that was out already.
And
Yo,
you
yeah,
know what? What a lot of this movie right here, a lot of people sleep on. It's about when they did the draft for Vietnam, and they would send you to boot camp. Remember? And then you go to boot camp or AIT, and then you bounce out. But
yeah.
you ever heard of the movie Tigerland?
Tigerland?
Tigerland. You need
Nah,
to check.
son.
Hey, I think Colin Farrell. He's in that movie.
Yo, isn't it crazy that those movies like movies back then? They had titles that wouldn't necessarily tell you it was a fucking military movie.
Nah, you wouldn't even think it
Right.
was a military movie.
Unless we're talking about Full Metal Jacket, then that's another
Yeah.
fucking case. But Saving Private Ryan, okay, that one, yeah, I mean that's more military, but that came afterwards. But like that deer one, what the fuck was the deer one called? The deer hunter?
Dinner with
Yeah,
Robert De
Robert De
Niro.
Niro.
Robert De
Yeah,
Niro.
yeah. Is that's a
That's cool.
military movie, right?
Yeah, yeah. He went to the military. It was like half military, and they came back out. They went to Vietnam. They Russian roulette. Didn't they do that?
Bro, I don't know. You know what? Let's
Yeah.
forget about this movie because I haven't even seen it. All I saw was
You
a
need to
clip of
watch
it.
it.
Yo,
It's
nah, yeah.
straight up like 60s, 70s movie. See, a 70, like 70s, man.
Was it based in that time or was it legit made in that time?
It was like made in that time because you could tell,
Yo,
like
I'm here thinking this shit came out like not that long ago, and they
60s,
had it
70s.
based in that time.
If it's for Robert De Niro, yeah, he's
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
But the Russian roulette scene is intense.
mm. Okay, okay. Damn, yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out, bro. I mean, yo, for me, one of my top like military movies. I mean, you mentioned some dope ones there, and they're definitely at the top of my list. And Band of Brothers,
Yeah.
bro, when it comes to series, like if you haven't watched Band of Brothers, like you don't know what the fuck you're missing. And it's like
Yeah.
Zoe said, that motherfucker will make you wanna sign up,
Yeah.
raise your fucking right hand, and go and like, yo, send me to the nearest fucking aircraft so I could jump the fuck out, bro. Like that shit is a ill fucking series.
Dope.
For me, Fury,
Fury.
Fury's like one of the fucking dopest military movies. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. That shit was so ill to me, and it felt so real that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I was able to go out there, and you know what it was, possibly the reason why that movie made me feel the way it did was because I had just got back from visiting Boston and all that stuff. Like
Okay.
I was in the Ardennes, I was out in Belgium. So seeing that movie directly after that, bro, that shit was like, yo, I like felt it, bro. Like the energy was crazy for that.
Yeah. And that experience, not only watching the movie but going to the sites like where it actually happened. Had an opportunity to go out to Normandy and went down. If you remember, if you ever watch Band of Brothers, and they're gonna have a scene where they're fighting in the trenches,
Yeah.
they actually have they posted out there, hey, this is where it happened, and you see the battlefield, and you look at it, you're like, this is insane, man. Like how,
Like
right?
how?
Yeah, like
That's always the question. Like how?
yeah,
And bro, you didn't just go to Normandy. Didn't you? Would you like? That shit was a dope ass experience. Like you guys got to jump in, right?
yeah. D-Day 75th.
Yo,
Went 10 days. Got to meet a lot of veterans that are no longer with us. World War II veterans, and 10 days doing ceremonies. Bringing soldiers there.
man, what a
Actually,
dope experience.
taking the English Channel flight, coming back, and then jumping into what, Iron Mike drop zone.
Damn.
Like thousands of people out there, man. What an experience, especially on D-Day, man.
And we also kind of made a commitment that we're like not supposed to die before we go and
Right?
go visit that motherfucker together. So it's like, yo,
Uh,
hold that death date. Hold on to it. Like let's go fucking visit Normandy first. That shit
yeah.
would be crazy epic, bro.
On the 100th anniversary, we're gonna be there.
What what did we just? It was the 81st anniversary that just passed right now, right? So we
Yep.
got 19 more years. I'm about to be 45, 55. Oh yes, son, I'll be a young buck still, bro.
700.
64, bro. Yo, that's 700 years old. Yo,
Yeah.
that would be crazy, bro. That would be a crazy
Dope.
dope experience. Yeah, bro.
But I mean, you had 80 to 90-year-olds jumping out of planes there when we went on the 75th. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
I got
saying.
to do I got to do an airborne school out here in Florida. It was like Dunedin, Florida, or something like that. And yeah, there was a lot of older dudes at the airborne school. It was super dope seeing them, bro.
That's
Yeah,
tight.
it was crazy ill, bro. It was a dope ass experience,
Yeah.
bro. What else has been going on? What else did we just get through going on this past weekend? Oh, the fights.
Mm,
The fights. What we're watching? You watching UFC, which you that's when you saw your boy Oliveira get fucking knocked out, right? But I heard my
yeah.
man, who was it the dude that fought Oliveira?
Man, what was his name?
Because I heard
Small dude.
he's like one right now that's fucking like,
He's hot right now.
yeah, bro.
But his
Yo,
record's not that big,
nah.
right? Not
But
in the
what's
UFC.
happening? So according to what one of my boys told me was that the thing that this dude has is that he's fucking running through like a lot of big names right now.
Yeah. And
Oliveira being one of them.
yeah. And you know how that goes. They get that backing in them, and they start dropping fools. Um, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like on the wall with it because really, I never paid attention to the guy. And then, that's always how it happens. Is like they pop up, and it's like like Clubber Lang kind of experience just comes out of nowhere and then starts wrecking fools.
Yeah.
Um, but he's I mean, just like any other champion, they seem legit. Like
You
he
know
seems
who else
legit.
was like that? Um, you just gave me a flashback. Yo, what was that dude's name? Hendrix. Hendrix was his name.
Mm.
Remember, he was like knocking fools out left and right, bro. And then he fought George St. Pierre.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think his name was Hendrix. I can't remember his fucking name. But
Yeah.
anyways, I remember he fought George St. Pierre, and legit, he looked like he won that fight, but they still gave it to George St. Pierre.
Pierre.
Yeah.
Pierre
And
up there too. He's was he like 30 something?
you know what I just realized? Every time we bring up the next thing that we don't know about, I realize why sometimes these guys, hey, look that up for me real quick. Get
One
back to
hundred
me.
percent.
Get back to
Right.
me whenever you get a chance. You
Hey, can
know.
you put that video up real quick?
Hey,
No, rewind it. No, not that part. Hey, and never mind. I'm just gonna.
yeah, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Jamie,
Yo,
can you pull that video up?
yeah. Yo, and then the other fight that was going on this weekend was the Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Oh,
Jr. The pride and joy of Julio Cesar Chavez, bro. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. son.
I don't understand it, man. I don't. I mean, not hating on nobody, like how they make the money, how they make the money, right? I don't. Just like bringing up the Godfather. How a man makes money for his family, that's how he makes it. But I just don't see it, man. You're not punching back. That's the whole thing. Is like it makes me like,
Bro, in that fight, it's like I don't know what he was thinking. Um, because I believe he had a chance, you know what I mean? But I think what happens is when Cass go against Jake Paul, I think what happens to a lot of the fighters is the same exact thing. They all go in there saying he's a fucking YouTuber. They keep saying that same shit in their head,
mm-hmm,
and they're not realizing that this motherfucker is legit putting in the work. Like this dude is legit training all the fucking time. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? All the fucking time, nonstop. So while you're sitting back on your name and getting fat and reaping those benefits,
yeah,
that dude is in the gym grinding. And then when it comes time to round one, and he hits you with that jab, and all of a sudden you're like,
that's some power.
this motherfucker got some power in that jab, and he keeps throwing that jab, and it doesn't allow you to get comfortable.
Yeah,
And then I think what happens. This is what I think happens, because I think this is what happened to Julio Cesar Chavez. He says, "I'm gonna let him get tired." Bro, stupidest mistake ever, because if you really realize when we finally saw Jake Paul starting to look kind of tired
yeah,
was like in the last fucking 2 rounds, and he still turned it up on the last round.
yeah,
So counting on him to get tired because he's not a real boxer is the fucking stupidest strategy ever.
yeah,
It's a fucking dumb strategy, bro. I think
yeah,
I th- I think this matchup was a good matchup for Jake Paul. Didn't look bad on him. You know what I mean? He's looking great because he went up against somebody that's a boxer. Regardless if it's not a boxer but ill name, but let's not kid ourselves here. Jake Paul is not a boxer with an ill catalog or an ill record or anything like that what I mean, that we could really sit here and try to put him and judge him or compare him
yeah,
to the likes of a fucking Anthony Joshua or Tyson. You know what I mean? Like, no, son, you can't be mentioned there. However, I will say they did rank him. They did rank him now.
he's
And
pro. Yeah,
yeah, and they ranked him like 14th. And I started thinking to myself, I said, you know what?
14 out of what?
WBO. I don't know. I'm assuming
Huh?
it's the heavyweights. he was ranked 14th. You know what I mean?
Man,
And if you're gonna like, cause he's like heavyweight, right? Is he heavyweight or is he light heavyweight? I think he's heavyweight.
it should be heavyweight.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks like he's like heavyweight. So I don't know though, cause Julio Cesar Chavez ain't that big.
He beat Joe Lewis's ass.
Yo, yo, but check this out. If if I'm being real here, bro, I saw something when I saw him fighting. I said, interesting. I said, if this kid keeps doing this same thing, right?
Yeah.
And continuously chopping away, getting a little better every time, staying away from the corny fights. I don't want to see you fight a Tyson again. I don't want to see any of that shit. I don't mind you fighting an ex fucking UFC fight. I don't mind that. I don't want to see you fight a Tyson, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, would I mind seeing him fight like maybe a Roy Jones, right? If Roy Jones is younger, Roy Jones ain't that old. You know what I
No.
mean? But let's forget about the clown show, right? Let's just suppose we're not even good because you're ranked.
Yeah.
You're ranked, so we can't be playing these fucking clown show games anymore.
No.
What I think should happen, and you tell me what you think about this, bro. So you give this dude a couple more fights. By next year, by next year, you want to know who I would face if I was Jake Paul?
Who's that?
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a bad
Why not?
matchup.
He just
Yo,
fought recently.
and one.
He won.
And Deontay Wilder is not a super skilled technical boxer.
No. He's a caveman.
Crazy, crazy power,
Clubbing.
but that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what he has going for him. And granted, don't sleep on that shit because it obviously fucking worked for him that whole fucking time. You know what I mean? Where
Absolutely.
until until he faced a boxer with crazy skills. When he faced Tyson Fury, I was like, yo, when Tyson Fury faced fucking Deontay Wilder, bro, my level of respect for Tyson Fury because when I saw the way he boxed, I was like, yo, this dude is like this dude is a fucking ill boxer,
He's a
bro.
professional boxer, and
Bro,
the
super.
thing is, his whole culture is that. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The culture that he's from is boxing. Dad, son, uncle, the whole fucking family. So when you come from that, it's like, bro, that shit is beaten to you.
Mm-hmm.
Winning is beaten to you. So when he faced him, no matter how goofy the fuck he looked, right? He boxed. That's what
That,
happened.
and that's what a lot of us did. Because especially over here back in the US, we're all, and I always say this when it comes to like how we buy things in the US, we're consumers by vision. It's all about what we see.
Yeah.
So when we see athletes, right, take a Tyson Fury, oh, even better, let's not even worry about Tyson Fury. Take what's homeboy's name, Andy Reese.
Yeah.
When we saw Andy Reese, we're like, yo, what's up with this dude? Look at the way he looks. You know what I mean? This dude's fat, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you see him fighting, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, my dude, yo, my man can box, bro.
He
Like
dropped
this
he
one,
dropped Joshua.
Joshua. He could,
Yeah.
and after he dropped Joshua after he got put down, right? Because he got
Hmm.
he got knocked down first.
He got knocked down.
And then he came back and fucking finished Joshua off,
Yep.
right?
And it was a strong fucking punch that knocked his legs out, and you could tell he was insane after he got hit that first knockdown.
And recovered from that, which a lot of people,
Oh
that shit, bro, that shit fucking rattles people. And it's not just about getting their feet back under them, bro. It's about the mind. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
because the mind can fuck you up. It could be like, damn, bro, this
yeah,
motherfucker hit me dumb hard. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
So it's crazy when you think about that shit like that, bro. So but yeah, I really would like to see. I think I would put Jake Paul up against Deontay Wilder. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years. but I
No,
think
it's
he
good.
could. I think he could be ready. Probably 2 years, right? Probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder's not gonna be that old in 2 years. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think he'll take money. I mean, there's all this whole conspiracy about it. They're all fixed and everything else, but
Nah, I don't
I don't
believe that.
know.
Whenever people say that this shit is fixed, I'm like, bro, the only time that I actually saw that I was like, oh yeah, that was that Mickey Rourke one. You remember that shit? Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit was the funniest shit ever, bro. And that was an example of a fixed fight.
Mm,
But that was, besides that, at this level, I don't know, man. Like with so much instant replays and all this stuff, I just don't see guys getting over like that fucking easy. And I mean
no,
to
it's
be,
not.
bro.
It's not wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The integrity level is just is there's too much at stake to fucking be trying to fix fights and shit like that. But yeah, and speaking of those knockdowns and being able to get back up, that's kind of something we wanted to talk about today, right? We want to talk about we were talking about movies earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yo, and speaking of patriotic movies, yo, who more fucking patriotic than fucking Creed and Rocky? Uh
Oh, the
man,
James Brown.
yeah, yo,
That-
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like that shit was like
Yeah.
super fucking patriotic, bro.
Living in America. Yo, when that came out, yeah, that was good, man.
Yo,
I feel
so
good.
yo, so right, we all remember Rocky 1, we remember Rocky 2, but in Rocky 3, right? Which brings us to this topic. Some of you might be asking, which I don't even remember what the fuck I wrote, what the topic is. But I think so. So if you don't know, welcome to the Smoking Barrel, right? I'm your host, De Leon. Got my co-host here, Zoe. We in the house, right? And we wanted to talk to you guys about the Rocky 3 effect. The
Mm.
Rocky 3 effect. Now, pretty much to give you a quick backstory, if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, Rocky,
1971.
yo, Rocky comes into this game as a humble fucking dude that used to beat the shit out of people for money, right? Right? That was the first one, right? He came in as he was a fucking, what do you call that?
Debt collector. Hey, you don't
Yeah,
pay?
yeah,
I gotta break something. I gotta
yeah,
break a thumb.
yeah. That was Rocky, right? Then he got into the game, right? Started boxing, and he made it.
He was given a title shot out of nowhere.
He was given a fucking title shot out of nowhere, right?
What?
That was to Creed, right?
Yep. A
That was
no. I'm gonna pick a nobody. Remember the phone book?
yep, yep, yep. Pick a nobody. So he picked Rocky,
Yep. The Italian stallion.
the Italian stallion, and what happens after that?
So he picked him. He picked him off the name. He liked the way it sounded. The Italian stallion on what was it, like July 4th? It was the 4th of July. It just passed,
Marketing,
right?
marketing,
Marketing. He knew it,
marketing. Yep,
right? Because there were money. He was Cree was knocking motherfuckers out. So
yep,
he had to pick that name. Hey, the other fighter he fell out. Let's get a local boy. Let's get one from this city, right? So I can
yep,
whoop his ass in front of all his fans, right?
yo, yep.
Right? It's perfect. I'm giving a local boy a shot. We'll put
Facts.
him on.
So they fight, right?
Yep, they fight.
Rocky wins that fight, right?
No,
Rocky, what happens in that one?
he loses.
Rocky loses in that one.
He loses.
Okay. Then
So
what happens?
because he loses, right? Remember the next movie,
What was
Rocky
that?
2,
And yeah, listen.
Jamie, pull up the footage.
This yeah, yo, this is why, Jamie. This is why Zoe is. This is why he's the co-host because he remembers the movies way fucking better than me. All
I'm
right.
retarded.
I couldn't remember that fucking yo. I couldn't remember that Rocky hadn't won yet. I was going straight to the end.
Yeah,
So he loses. Rocky loses.
he loses. So and going to Rocky 2, so he loses, but
So
Creed can't handle that.
so that's wait. So Rocky 1 ends like that?
Yeah, he loses in the end, right? He sees Adrian come in the ring, his fucking face is all fucking beat up.
And that's when he starts like, hey, you're it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So and that's the end of Rocky 1.
And Rocky won. Yep, he loses that fight
Yo, so wait,
by decision.
you mean to tell me
Bro, we need to bring up some clips because I think it's by decision he lost.
yo, because it was controversial. It was controversial because the people were like,
Fuck
nah,
that.
fam, this
He
dude
won.
really won.
Yep,
And they gave it to fucking Creed
it's coming
because
back.
he's the A side.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the end of it, right?
That was the end of it. He lost.
So then part two, Creed has to face the dude from the USSR, right?
No. So he's getting all these letters saying, you carry this bum. Remember? His family's getting letters. His kids are getting fucking mocked at school.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yep. So he's like, I didn't really beat him. That's when you could see he was full of money. He was in his mansion and everything else. But you could tell he was a champion because inside he goes, I didn't fucking beat him.
Oh, wait. Say that again. He
So
had the money,
he had
he
the
had
money.
the riches,
Yep.
but
He had
he didn't give a
everything.
fuck, bro. He was like, nah, fam, I need to prove
Yep.
that I'm the champion, right?
I'm a
Because
winner.
in Rocky 1, he was he was cocky. He was boasting. He was like, yo, I'm the fucking champ. I'm like, yo, just pick me anybody. I'm gonna fucking dethrone them in their own city.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
he beat Rocky so bad. Remember that scene where he was like, he looked over in the corner and he was still coming up, and Rocky was like this. He was like, "Yo, what the
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah, like,
man?
yo, like stop this fight, my
Like,
man.
dude, right?" So two, dude had all the money, he had everything else. He's like, "Let's run it back, right?" So we're gonna run it back. We're gonna get him up on another time. And this was the time when he was going through with Mickey,
Yo,
and he
so
said,
hold. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I fast forwarded like fucking 6 Rockies right now.
"It's all good though."
Yo, I just realized. I'm like, all right, go ahead. Yo, he got with Mickey. Go ahead.
So they're giving him another chance, or yeah, we might be crossing the
I
streams,
feel
but
yeah, I feel like we're somehow Jamie. No? Hey, he's on break. yo, yo, all right. yo,
yo, so round two comes.
round
Anyway,
two.
who
Okay.
wins? Right? Rocky wins.
Okay, Rocky wins.
That was the Yo Adrian I did a scene.
Okay.
Wins.
Then that's right, because then Rocky 3 comes.
Yep.
And at this point, when Rocky won that one in Rocky 2, that's when Rocky hit the millions.
Yep. He started fighting more.
Cause he got the title, he got comfortable,
Yeah.
and he was feeling real good. All of a sudden, that's where all the money came in and
Yep.
all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So then Rocky 3 comes. At this point, he's super complacent, and the city's like, yeah, Rocky, the people's champ, blah blah blah, and he's drunk on that right there, on that fame. He's
Yeah.
drunk on that fame, on the fact that he's the people's champ. I just got done running around Philadelphia several times with my people following me around. Like I got this ill entourage. It's called the whole city, right?
Right. Yep.
And he was drunk on that. And
Hmm.
then during one of his, it was, I don't remember what it was he was doing in the city, but he was doing like a press conference or some shit like that. And that's when don't ask me what his name was in the movie. So we'll just call him by his government name, Mr. T.
Mrs.
That's
T.
when
Clever. Clever Lang.
yes, Clover Lane. That's when Clover Lane came in, and that's when he called him out.
Hey, woman, you need to get with a real man.
yo, and that's when he was like, yo, he basically was like, yo, you're lazy, homie.
Yep.
You're lazy. You're just sitting up there holding that belt.
Yeah.
But why don't you fight? Why don't you fight a real fucking fighter? Blah blah blah. Right?
And here's the disservice, which aided, I think it aided him into this fucking mystery world of being rich and famous and everything else. If you go back to the movie, Mick was hand selecting fighters for him.
Mm.
Remember? To keep him winning. And he admitted it in the fucking movie. Yeah.
Yo.
If you go back, he fucking said it. So now Rocky's like the same place that Rocky is feeling right now is how Creed was feeling when Rocky fucking almost beat him.
So he has that same feeling
You
because
see what
he
I'm saying?
legit has the heart of a fucking champion.
Yo, I'm a fucking fighter, man, and you fucking robbed me, man.
Yeah.
So let's run this. But you already know, Clubber Lang was on a different level because he was eating meat raw when this dude was fucking meat was cooked, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
His eye was off the game. So
Damn.
you go back into that scene where he appears with the feather in his ear.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know,
Yo,
Mr. T does it.
bro. This was, and I guess the concept here, right? We don't worry. If you guys think we're about to take you through all the Rockies, we're not. You know. But spoiler alert: Creed gets killed. But anyways, yo, yo,
If
but
he dies.
yo, he dies. He dies. But here's the kicker, right? Why are we bringing this whole thing up about the Rocky 3 effect? Well, the Rocky 3 effect, like Zoe and I were talking, right? And we were talking about how this is actually a real thing where it's not just fighters, it's different types of athletes. I think this happens to celebrities. I think this happens to musicians. And I think it happens to everybody in real fucking life
Yeah.
where all of a sudden you see a moment of success or a moment where you win, where you ultra win, and all of a sudden you're good. You're like, I'm good. I don't got I don't gotta prove anything else. Like
It-
I'm good. And all of a sudden you become complacent and lazy, and then all of a sudden all that shit gets snatched away from you because you no longer have that fucking hunger.
yeah. It's
And
the you get away from the basics. You start straying away from them, and as soon as you start straying away from the basics, man, you're inviting danger in. And if you're talking about a level of proficiency, always remember somebody else out there is hungry, more hungry than you. That's what's going to happen. So how do you maintain that status? Is like is sticking to that discipline plan and acknowledging these things, these entities that are coming around you, influencing you from your family to your friends to whoever you fucking hang around with, and
bro, yeah,
you know
because
best.
now you made it. Now everybody they're like, nah, don't worry about training. I want you to take me shopping.
Take
I
these
want you to,
pictures.
yeah, yo, help me pay my rent and all this shit. And I can only imagine what people at that level have to go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
imagine that shit is tough to deal with. But I can also see the flip side where they do get complacent, right? Where they do, like, how many times have we not seen where boxers they suffer one loss, and this coach that they've been rocking with that took them through all those title shots in the beginning, everything was great. All of a sudden they suffer one loss. What do? They get rid of the coach.
you're the coach.
They get rid of the coach. They get rid of the
Yep.
trainer. And it's like, yo, my man, how you gonna get rid of your trainer when this motherfucker's the one that got you there? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's the one that got you there. He's the reason why but they don't want to accept the fact that maybe they are the ones who got complacent.
yeah.
Maybe they were the ones no longer wanting to fucking wake up at 0400 so they can go for this run and start their training day and all this shit, bro. So it's crazy when we think about this, man, because we started thinking about different people that we feel like have gone through something similar and
Yeah.
that have suffered or came out on top with the Rocky 3 effect, right?
Mm,
And some of those people, I'll tell you one of the first people I think about, bro. Durant.
Roberto.
Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran suffered the Rocky 3 effect because Roberto Duran was on top. He was fucking super great. Everything was golden. He faces Sugar Ray Leonard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He
Great fight.
fucking he's an animal fighting Sugar Ray Leonard, right? He wins, he beats Sugar Ray Leonard, and then all of a sudden, that's it. I'm golden. I'm good. Bro, dude is out celebrating, partying all the time,
Yeah.
doing I don't know fucking what, but he's. I'll tell you what he's not doing. He's not in the gym.
Nope.
But guess who is? Sugar Ray Leonard. Cause Sugar Ray Leonard wants that get back.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard is like, nah, fam, we fighting again, homie.
Yeah.
I need my get back, fam.
Yeah.
So peep this. Sugar Ray Leonard lost right there. He loses, right? And I don't know if he had any other defeats before that. Like you, no, all right, he's not gonna look it up. So I don't know if he had any defeats before that. But if you really think about it, it was that moment that could have been Sugar Ray Leonard's Rocky 3 effect. He just
Yeah.
suffered a loss. Fuck it. I'm gonna take it. There's no recovering from this. It's you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
what does he do? Yo, he comes back. Not only does he beat the shit out of Roberto Duran, he makes my man quit. This is where the famous
No
no
mas.
mas.
No mas.
No mas. Yo, that's where the famous no mas. If you don't know what no mas means, it pretty much means I don't want no more, son.
No more.
Please tell him to stop. Please, I'm begging you, do me a favor. No more. So, and then guess what? He wasn't it after he suffered that, he wasn't able to recover.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to recover from that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's one example. Another example, you have any examples?
Ah, shit. Remember Tommy the Gun? We're going back to
Yo,
Rocket series. Tommy
yeah.
Gun Morrison. I mean,
Didn't didn't he catch the germ though?
yeah,
Like
he caught
he,
it.
he
Yeah. But he caught it, but still, like, if he wasn't living that life and, you know what I'm saying?
you're right.
Like,
You're
if he didn't go,
right.
the
You're
money and everything else.
and that's pretty much what drove him there. Damn,
Yeah.
so that's the extreme negative, bro. That's like
100%.
yo, that's like
What
as
got
bad as it fucking gets, bro.
what got him into the Rocky series is because he was a winner. He was winning. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So
Yo,
he's put
that's
into
crazy that
Rocky
you brought
series.
him up, bro. That's a good one for this, bro.
They
Wow.
should.
And
Hey,
he
look
comes from
look
the
up
Rocky movies.
any cut from Rocky movies.
Wow, bro. That is true, bro. Wow. Got super complacent.
Yep.
Started fucking raw dogging chicks and
Drugs,
yo,
partying, and
damn.
he was knocking motherfuckers out. He was a good boxer, man. He was good.
Damn.
But still, like, if you go back, right? If to all
But
these
Rocky
celebrities,
got him in that street fight though.
nah, man, I loved you, man. We was like brothers. Then he turned his
Yo,
back.
yo, bro. Fucking Tommy, bro.
Touch me and I'll sue.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, the manager, whatever
He
that
said,
the
yeah.
promoter. Um for me another example would be and we talked about this one. Ronda Rousey, bro. Ronda Rousey was I want to say was one of the biggest upsets in the having the Rocky 3 effect.
Mm,
Impact her in a ridiculous, ridiculous way where she was killing it, bro. She was really like, yo, yo, you really believed her character every time she stepped into the octagon, yo,
yeah.
because she was real. She was ill. She was fucking ill. But once she faced Holly Holm and Holly Holm did her in,
Got that kick to the side of the face. Pow!
She was not, yo. That was her moment. That was like, what? Wait, what? I'm not supposed to get hit, son. I'm not supposed to get hit. And from there, I did not see Ronda Rousey recover from that because did she try to come back? Yes, she did. Could could the UFC maybe have? No, I'm not gonna blame it on the UFC, bro, because she was Ronda Rousey, bro. Why wouldn't you give her a title shot against Amanda Nunes and all that shit, bro? You were Ronda Rousey. You were the elite alpha, especially on the female side. Like
Yeah,
you were like the legit alpha of that movement.
yeah,
So when she faces Amanda Nunes and gets fucking demolished, it she did not look like a normal. From the moment the fight started, bro, you could see it in, bro. It's all in the eyes, Chico.
yeah. It's a
It's
hundred
all in the
guys.
eyes. You
You
saw
stay
it in
here.
her eyes, bro. Before that fight even started, you saw it in her eyes, bro. You were like, you're defeated, son.
It was like watching the Super Bowl with KC. You already seen it in their faces.
Oh, yes.
100%. Hey,
Yes.
if you go back and go back to that Super Bowl, and when they were showing even the national anthem, just look at their fucking eyes. Something was up. Something was up. Who else? I mean, Tyson, great fighter, but you know how the money goes, man. Just like we're talking about, you get consumed, and it goes back to a question: is like if somebody dropped all this money in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And I think when it goes back, I'm not trying to get like fucking political or anything, but
Especially back then. Especially back then.
it goes back to where we come from, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Where we come from. If you walked outside of that project house right now, could you go to anybody and ask, "Hey, can you help me with my algebra? Can you help me be successful at
No.
putting my money into a fucking Roth fucking program?" You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So it's not there, man. So you're not taught it. So what I think is when these young athletes come into these games, there should be a program, man, where it's like the army, where they offer you the TSP, right? You put your
Yeah.
money in this. We're gonna take. They took our money, right? GI Bill, everything else, and they put it there. And I'm glad they do that, right? Even for our kids that are in, right? Got a son, have a daughter. You have a son, you have a daughter. They're both in the military,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I'm glad that they do that, man. But if you're giving the kids that came from nothing millions of dollars, man, that's why you see all these athletes just pissing it away because they have no fucking understanding. All these demons and fucking motherfuckers who are leeching off of them, taking them, they're taken for granted.
Bro.
It's horrible, man.
And by the way, like we sometimes focus on the people that maybe it's just like their normal circles that are taking it away and all that shit. But to be honest with you, back then there was motherfuckers that were probably super smart with the money, like how they knew how to move money around, and
Yeah,
they were able to take advantage of these dudes because these dudes did not have money background like that. You know what I mean? So they didn't understand money, so they would probably fucking throw money away like it wasn't shit because they thought they were doing an investment or something like that. And the whole time these dudes are getting robbed. So similar to what you're saying about like the how the army has certain things in place like TSP and all that stuff. Yo,
mm,
you know what else I think athletes need to have in place similar to the army? Remember how how the army has a blacklist where it's like a blacklisted, like where it
yep,
says, yo, these places are off limits.
off limits.
Off
Establishments are off limits. Ba
These
ba 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 ba.
establishments are off limits.
Yep.
I think like yo, be like, yo, you see this CPA over here? Off limits, homie. Be careful. This is the background on this CPA over here.
Yeah.
This promoter over here, listen, this is what this promoter has done, bro. The
Yeah.
fucking the where you can be able to look up the fucking facts, bro, the car facts, and be like, oh shit, look
One
at
hundred
all this
percent.
shit. You know what I mean? And if they have that, then I feel like they're able to be like, all right, hey, should I stay away from the? Oh, look, it's right there. It says it right there. Stay
Yeah.
the fuck away from this person. You know what I mean?
One hundred
But
percent.
but then that takes care of that, but that doesn't take care of your circle. Doesn't take care of your friends and your family.
Yeah.
And that's something they're not gonna have. Only you are gonna be able to know. Um,
Who's
you know,
taking advantage?
yeah,
Yeah, man.
and it shouldn't. Sometimes, like I think when it comes to like that whole like friends and family thing, I think sometimes we know that this friend or family is not good.
The grimy moco.
Yo, and we're like, yeah, but they're family, but
Yeah.
they're my friend, and you still let them, and then when they take advantage of you, you're like, damn, bro, I can't believe it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, motherfucker, yes, you can believe it because you already knew this fucking person was like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now,
That's
there's
good.
also the positive side. I think, I think Tyson's like one of those weirdly like stories that, bro, this dude like hit super rock bottom
Mm-hmm.
and was able to bounce back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think his fight against Jake Paul, if anything, was probably more therapeutic for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's got to be
So
around it.
yeah. So I think that was a good success story. Um but then there's the extreme success stories when it comes to the Rocky 3 effect, right? You
Yeah.
got the Kobe Bryants of the world, right? You have Canelo Alvarez, bro. Bro, I remember when Canelo Alvarez lost against Floyd Mayweather. That could
Yeah.
have been that could have been it right there for Canelo. You know what I mean? But Canelo didn't allow that loss. Yo, one of the things that I've always admired about Canelo that I could never take away from this dude. This dude, he knows how to take styles from other fighters. Like he fights a fighter,
Yeah.
and if he sees that that fighter has something ill, he take bro like a video game. He takes that pack and he throws it on and he says, "All right, I'm gonna start using that shit now."
Yeah. And he goes,
And and
"Hey,
it's made
get
him
the
who
fuck out of here."
yo, and it's made him the great fighter who he is. Because I saw him take some style from Miguel Cotto, right? He
Good
beat
fight.
he beat Miguel Cotto. He beat Miguel Cotto fair and square.
Yeah.
But when he lost to Mayweather, I don't know if you peeped this, but after that fight, all of a sudden I started seeing him do Mayweather-ish type stuff. Yep, the shoulder roll. I was like, yo, you didn't do that before. That's fucking mad
Yeah.
funny, bro. That's dope. But that's great on him, right?
He
That's
sponged that
great
shit.
that he did that, bro.
Yeah.
Another well, you know what? You can't say nothing about this dude because I just realized something.
Mm.
My next person is Tom Brady. Now, you can't
Yeah.
say nothing bad about your owner because he's isn't he isn't he one of your owners of
Yeah.
of the Raiders?
The Raiders. Yeah. Let me
Yeah,
tell you. Let me tell you.
that's your
I
team.
I I, I hate losing more than I like winning. All right. But so, hey, if we got to rebuild, we rebuild. And who do you know? If you can pick your team, pick your team. So I'm with it, man. All the Raider fans, if they're ever thinking about like, oh, blah blah, I don't give two fucks. Let's pick our team and let's win. That's what we're trying to go for, right? Since
Yep.
1980 fucking three, so 84 and on, we've been losing ever since. Even
Yeah.
these guys right here, even these guys right here. How you
Yeah,
gonna give them a stadium and they keep fucking losing? They're losing all the time, you know. So
bro.
that's what it is, man. If we want to win, hey, step back. Let's go to the drawing board. And just like your coach, just like you said, I'm gonna fire this coach because I didn't win this fight. But you understand, you won 9 fights before the 10th fight. Like that's your coach, right? So if we got to go back to the drawing board on the fucking Raiders, I'm down. I'm with it.
You with it?
I'm with it.
I wish we could have gone to see that game, bro. That first game, Pats versus the Raiders. It's like it's almost like I feel like it's like a family reunion, bro.
Right?
Because we're gonna look at it like, hey, look, he's home. And it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, we're all fam now. We're all family
Hey,
now. Hey,
kick
we
his
all fucking
ass.
yeah.
The tuck rule.
Yo. So we bring all this up because the point of all this is that lots of times there's people that don't know how to handle failures, right? Because they get so accustomed to winning and being on top. Hey, bro, and think about this, especially today where, we talk about the whole participation trophies and all that shit.
Yeah,
So people get so accustomed to winning and being told, oh, good for you, blah, blah, blah. You lost, but you're still, blah, all this shit, right? But when they actually face super defeat, they don't know how to recover from it.
no,
I feel like today's athletes and today's they have a harder time recovering from that shit.
yeah.
They
It's
have
that.
a
It's,
super hard time.
and because it's blasted all over the internet, right? So more eyes, more ears can and see the stuff, and then there's so much, that's why it's so important for if you have kids and you're raising them to understand, like, bro, failure is fucking good. Fail
It's a lesson.
100%.
It's a lesson.
Fail at that
Learn from
shit,
it.
right? And then you understand how to appreciate the small wins, the little bitty bit, the fucking medium wins, the extreme wins, right?
Yup.
So, and it's just like, yeah, I failed. I'm gonna go back and do an AAR on this shit, right? And I'm gonna analyze and I'm gonna come back but see, that's what separates the normal, right, from the extreme fucking ones
The-
that want to lead
Yup.
provide and protect, man. So, and that's fine, right? If you want to be mediocre and you want to stay on that line, understand mediocre results is what you're gonna fucking get. Not me, not you, not our families,
Nope.
right? And that's why we're at where we're at. This right here, if we this flag right here, if we want to talk about, like, the reason why we stay to the basics and we keep on, we're not like, oh yeah, we're the greatest fighting force in the world, but we don't stand on that, right? As far as, like, that's not, oh, because what we did in World War I, World War II, and anything else. We're doing that because every single day we are training. Do you understand? Every single day, right? From
Yup.
the morning we wake up till we salute the flag until we fucking come home, we're
Yup.
training. And that's the message we want to put out, as far as, like, that's the mentality how we win.
Gotta be. It's gotta be the mentality. You gotta have you know what I mean? It's like you said, bro. You suffer a loss, you suffer a defeat, take it as a fucking lesson, get back to training, and hey, all right, what do we learn from that? How do we make it better? How
Yep.
do we make sure we fucking, minimize casualties and all these things? Like you got to make sure that you're taking the training very serious, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're trying to fucking get back up there, you know what I mean? So and that's what we want to leave cats with, you know what I mean? We want to let them know, like, yo, there's gonna come a moment. It happens to all of us. There's gonna come a moment. You're gonna face some sort of defeat, and you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck are you gonna do in that moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna be a bitch. You're gonna lay down and be like, and start with the excuses, cause yo, oh my god,
There
bro.
we go.
There is nothing that drives me crazier, especially we were just talking about sports.
Yeah.
There's nothing that drives me crazier than when a fighter loses and immediately is like, my shorts were mad heavy. That shit when
My
I'm
helmet is so heavy.
yo,
I bit
like,
my cheek.
you know what I'm saying? Like they come with crazy shit. Like you're like, yo, son,
Yeah.
you lost. You lost. Hey, my favorite is when
Yeah.
they be like, hey, no excuses. Even though I tore my Achilles 3 weeks ago, I'm better though. But I'm just
I
saying, no excuses.
had my
Hey,
gallbladder removed
he
yesterday.
he wasn't fair and square. I wasn't feeling good. I got the flu, but hey, you know what?
It's all right.
Hey, he won. It's like they want to accept it, but there's and I wonder what that is, bro. That's got to be something.
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing it. I don't think they're doing it on purpose when they use those excuses. I think it's like in that moment the left. brain and the right brain is like having a fight talking. It's
They're
like,
hitting each
you know,
other.
the ego. The
They're like this.
ego
They're
is
like
like,
this.
man,
Fuck you,
yeah.
don't fuck you.
We on one side, he's like, bro, we fucking lost. Chill. Nah, man, fuck that. It was because this motherfucker over here, my trainer over there, you know what I mean? The
They don't
air
want to
where we were
accept it.
training, it wasn't the right place. I need to
Yeah.
train somewhere different. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what happens, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
anyways, the point, you know what I mean? You can't be living off of yesterday's wins, bro. It's like
Nah,
that
man.
dude from Napoleon Dynamite. Yo, remember that? I don't even know the fucking the dude that was talking about when he was in high school. He was like, I could throw a football right over that mountain. If only coach put me in. If only coach put me in, we would have won state champions. Bro. And that's what happens, bro. They get caught up in yesterday's win.
Yeah, man.
Bro, yesterday's win was yesterday, homie.
And nobody cares.
Nobody fucking
Nobody
cares
fucking
about
cares.
yesterday's win, bro.
No,
Nobody cares.
what you
None of
doing
that
right
shit
now?
matters. So, well, as you can see, familia, we're coming here to the end. Uh this episode of the Smoking Barrel was brought to you by Monte de Leon Cigars. As we are sitting here, our official sponsor, right? They're our official sponsor, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're our official sponsor. So shout out to Monte de Leon Cigars. Wait, we don't know how to put the links in and all that shit yet, bro. This is just yo. Hey, just click on that link down here, and we'll be good. But yo, anyways, bro, that's it, bro. Let's
Good
fucking
talking
keep
to you,
winning.
man.
Let's keep
Appreciate
winning.
you. Yeah, all the time. Little wins, big wins. Appreciate you having me on, brother.
Yeah, let's do it again, bro. All right,
Right on, man.
be easy.
You
One.
too, man.
I
Peace.
just saluted with the left. Yo, fuck out of here.
Here we go. It's been a
Damn,
while.
bro. Damn, bro. All
It's all good.
right, so what?
All right.